Hi, welcome back to Natasha's Reads Right Now. And right now, I'm on a porch outside talking about the books I read last week, what I plan to read for this week, and a special sneak peek for a rereadathon I'm participating in. Thank you for joining me in this odd location outside. My kiddos are trying to fall asleep and I really needed to get this film so I could edit tonight. So that is why I am outside in some bad lighting, just going for it. So despite of this crazy busy week I was able to finish 3 books this week. So let's get into them. So I finished Empire Storms, 5th book in the Throne of Glass series, and I'm glad to say I gave it a 5 stars. Every problem I had with the 4th book, it seemed to be resolved in the 5th book. So I just can't wait. I'm so excited for the last 2 books. And then I'm also sad that there's only 2 more books for me to read. So very good read. Really enjoyed it. And a rare experience I had this week was being able to finish a duology in 1 week. So that was going to be Sky in the Deep and The Girl the Sea Gave Back. And these are both by Adrienne Young, and I really enjoyed them. They were very quick reads. I'm not used to reading such short books, and also they weren't very magic fantasy heavy. They were more historical fiction, I would say. And man, it was just so refreshing with all the heavy fantasy series I'm into right now. Very refreshing and very quick pace. Like usually in the epic fantasies, I'm like, oh my gosh, can we just get on with this? But this just got to the point and moved on. Now, The Sky in the Deep was, of course, it's about Vikings. And that's pretty cool to me. My goodness, even though I felt like I knew what was going to happen, it was kind of refreshing in a way to just not have to think about it too much or worry too much. It was just a really good first read, but it was definitely more... Sorry if you can hear that. I'm filming outside because my kiddos are sleeping. And for some reason, there are a lot of cars on the road right now. Okay, so the first book, I don't know, I felt like I knew what was going to happen, and I was okay with it, though. And I was going to give it a 3 star, because I was just like, man, it's just going so fast, but that was because I wasn't used to it. Like I said, I'm used to reading 700, 800 page books usually, and these were only 300 pages, so of course the story had to move a little bit quicker, but I still enjoyed the characters and enjoyed the story. It was a really good setup for the sequel book too, which, first of all, Sky in the Deep, it finished where it just felt like a story. It just felt done, and that was really exciting as well. Sorry, more cars. But then you get into The Girl the Sea Gave Back, and it's set 10 years past the events of the first book, but it was really more, it was a little bit more intricate and kind of going back and forth between the 2 books, between 2 new characters' perspectives. So we still heard from the characters in the first book, but the story was completely different from 2 different points of view. So it was a very interesting read, a very interesting duology. Highly recommend it, and I gave it both books 4 stars in the end. All right, now on to what I want to read this week. Now, I have a dilemma. Now, my choices are the second book, The Well of Ascension, which is the second book in the Mistborn trilogy, the original, and also my long-anticipated The Rage of Dragons, Evan Winter. And it's a dilemma because this week I'm also participating in a rereadathon. So I have chosen 4 books for that. So that is going to take up most of my reading time this week for the weekend. But I need something to read in the meantime. And so both of these books are quite hefty. And so either I get into a new series, the first book, and then the second book comes out, I believe, in November, or I continue with the amazing experience I had from the first book, Mistborn. So down in the comments, let me know if you had a choice between The Rage of Dragons and The Well of Ascension. If you could only read one book this week, let me know what would it be. So it is still up in the air about what I'm going to read this week. This week I was invited through Instagram to participate in a Spring REreadathon, and I will go ahead and link that down in the description below. And I will do a whole separate video on this, what I plan to read and how it went. I'll just give you a little sneak peek of what I'm planning on reading. There, that's all you get. So in the middle of the week I will go ahead and share these amazing books that I'm going to get to reread this weekend during the Rereadathon, and that will be a big chunk of my reading this week because there's going to be 4 of them in 4 days, so wish me luck with that. As always, thank you for watching, and I want to hear what you're reading right now. And if you're planning on participating in the Spring Rereadathon, let me know down in the comments. Very excited to hear about it. So if you like to finish and start big books and you cannot lie, go ahead and like and subscribe.